Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Kevin. One of the challenges we have when we play violin is that our bow has to have a very good contact with the string in order for the string to make a sound. If my contact is poor, my sound will be very weak and my bow is going to slide all over the place. However, if I have a good contact, then you see that the sound is very focused and it also speaks very clearly. That's what we call articulation. It's kind of like the difference when you speak between mumbling and enunciating clearly. Hello, I'm Mr. Kevin. Hello, I'm Mr. Kevin. So, in order to increase our bow contact, we need to somehow lean the weight of our arm into the string, and that will increase the contact between the bow hairs and the string. What we don't want to do is we don't want to press down with our fingers like this, or even worse with our shoulder and our elbow like this. That will create a very crunchy sound. But in spite of that, that's what many students try the first time I tell them play more clearly, play with a deeper sound. So what do we do instead? Well, we do a motion called pronation. And I tell my students it's like turning a doorknob. So instead of throwing our whole shoulder and our elbow in or tensing up our fingers like this, what we're going to do is we're simply going to rotate our hand this way as if we were turning a doorknob. And I do this passively a lot of the time when I play. I keep my hand kind of rotated in this position, and that's what allows me to transfer the weight of my arm here into the string. It's hard to see that I'm doing this motion when I actually play. But the main way that you can tell that it's working is that the bow stick and the bow hair will kind of flex together. Another way that you can tell you're doing it right is to do the opposite of pronation. The opposite of pronation is supination. So if I turn my hand the opposite way, the bow comes completely off the string. That's why we know it works to get the bow into the string when we do the opposite thing. You can see that using pronation with this motion really increases the clarity of my playing, and it results in this clear ta articulation. So one way that I recommend practicing pronation is simply reaching forward toward a mirror and just watching your hand and rotating just from your forearm. Remember, we're not throwing our whole shoulder into it, we're just rotating from here. It should feel like a very passive motion. Then, the next step is to place your bow on the string just like I did before and practice that doorknob turn into the string and watch the bow stick and the hair flex together. Now, you may find that when you first try this, you get a little bit of scratching. My main recommendation is make sure that your fingers are still relaxed, even as you're doing this rotation. And make sure you move the bow fast enough. Some people may not be used to having this much weight going into the string, and so when they start playing, they'll move the bow too slowly and crush the string. So what I recommend is that you really move the bow when you first try this, and you simply look for depth of sound.